What's up? We're here with another Office Hours episode where I answer your baseball questions here in my office. And today the question comes from Bums in Blue 562. And he says, I feel like I have more control pitching out of the stretch than a full windup. Any suggestion? Yeah, this one's easy, at least for me, because I only pitch out of the stretch. So if you feel like you pitch fast, did you say faster or better? More control, you said, out of the stretch. If that's the case, and you feel like a better pitcher out of the stretch, just pitch from the stretch, because you never have to pitch from the windup. There's no rule that says if there's nobody on base and, you know, whatever, you have to pitch from the windup. No, you never have to pitch from the windup, but you do have to pitch from the stretch if you don't want people to steal bases on you, right? So that's what I did. I noticed this in junior college. I was from the windup and from the stretch, but then I started to realize, why don't I just focus on pitching from the stretch? Because I'm going to have to pitch from the stretch when runners get on base, and I'm going to have to be good at it. So then I started focusing on becoming the best that I could from pitching out of the stretch. And from that day on, from junior college on, I only pitched from the stretch. So I learned how to throw at my highest velocity from the stretch. I learned how to be have my most control from the stretch. I learned how to be most efficient from the stretch. I learned how to be quick when I needed to be when there was runners on base from the stretch. But I also learned how to gather myself and get more energy if I needed it from the stretch. So once I made that decision to never go back to pitching from the windup, I became a much better pitcher because I only had to focus on one of those things. So again, to answer your question, I mean, this may be simplifying it for you, but it may not be the answer that you want to hear. But I think you should just pitch from the stretch. Stop worrying about pitching from the windup. Now, if your velocity is an issue, here's where a lot of guys struggle. They feel like they get more velocity, pitching velocity, when they pitch out of the windup, because a lot of guys use their momentum well out of the windup, but guys struggle to create momentum or create energy from the stretch. So that can be a tough thing. But again, if you decide and commit yourself to only working from the stretch, you can figure it out. Because I figured out how to throw as fast as I could from the windup from the stretch. So I was able to throw 96 miles an hour at my fastest from the stretch. Sorry, Stevie Delabar, Major League All-Star. He's got a jersey back here. He's calling. I got to take this. What's up, buddy? Ain't nothing. I was actually shooting a video when you called in, and I was talking about the kid asked pitching velocity pitching accuracy. He feels like he has more pitching accuracy from the stretch, but not from the windup. So my suggestion was to just focus on the stretch. But I remember you used to pitch from the windup and the stretch. But then when you came back, were you just from the stretch, or were you from the windup too?
No, I was in the windup, and then I got to Double A, and they said, "Hey, we'd like you to work more out of the stretch." And I was like, "Okay," because the majority, and just like Greg Maddox said a long time ago, I remember somebody telling me about it when I was in college. Said 90% of the runs he gives up are from the stretch. So why not work out of where you're actually going to have to work?
Right.
So that was. I mean, if the kid's more accurate from doing one thing, there's a lot of guys that do the abbreviated. So their foot's already in the stretch position, but they have like a step, but there's no twisting in the foot and overturning with the hips and getting all their timing off. And that might be what it is. Like he has something in his delivery that he gets his hips out of line. So if you did a stretch video and a windup, you'd be able to see it right away.
Right. And that's what I was saying. Most guys I hear have issues with velocity from the stretch. Like they feel like they can create more velocity from the windup, and I think that's because they have more momentum, and they don't know how to create that momentum.
He probably so he's more accurate in the stretch?
Yes.
Yeah. Because he's probably doing something in which he like over rotates and then never gets back online or flies open too much. I haven't seen his video, but I would just say that would probably be the issue.
Yeah, I haven't seen him either. This is just a guy online from YouTube.
Like people do like their rock step and then turn, and if it's like the Felix Hernandez like complete turn, then his timing has to be right. But if he's in the stretch, it's a leg lift and lead the hip and go.
Right.
It's not there's no twisting involved. So the timing issue of getting the arm on the right slot when you need to get it, that's where that can be an issue. So the kid probably, he starts out the first inning, walks it out 4 pitches, and then gets out of it in 3, in 8 pitches because he gets those strikes. So he's in stretch. So just tell him, do like you, Darvish, and just pitch out of stretch all the time.
Right. So at what age would you give that advice? Would you give that to a 9-year-old, or are you going to wait till they're in high school, or is there an age, or is it pitcher specific?
No, I would say the age. For the age, I would put all the kids in the stretch, because you want to limit motion. So the kids that are in the stretch, there's, like I said, it's lift and go.
Right.
It's not step, rock, twist, hands over your head, all that. No, it's come set, lift your leg, break and throw.
Right. So the earlier the better, the less movement, the easier it is, and the better you'll get by practicing
and your timing's better, and then eventually you can put a little rock step into it. But I would say just basic stuff. But that's like anything, simple. Less is more.
Right.
The more simple, the easier. And especially a kid that's trying to pick up on something quicker, like the few motion changes you can make, the easier. So whenever you make an adjustment to a delivery or anything, you don't change the motion, you change the setup.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So if you are pitching from the windup and the stretch, everything should be the same once the leg lift comes into play, is what you're saying.
Yeah, because what I tell all the kids that I work with, they might bring that up, and then I'll say, well, once you say you're in your position, you take your hands over your head, you step back or you step to the side, you turn that back foot. Now it's square with the rubber, and now you are in that stretch position. So it shouldn't matter, but it's what happens when you lift your leg that it could cause you to twist, or where your hips are whenever your leg comes back around.
Right.
And starts going back to the plate.
Right. So
he might be over-rotating, and like I said, I haven't seen it, but I would probably say that's most of his issue.
So I'm telling my advice to him is to just scrap the windup, pitch from the stretch, get your accuracy good, and then try to build up your velocity from the stretch. Just pitch from the stretch always.
Exactly. And if he says, well, I go harder from the windup, and you say, well, start focusing on what makes you strong through your if it is a fluid motion that like everybody thinks that rock step gives them more momentum. Well, then tie more momentum into your delivery. And then you start saying, well, how do I get more momentum? And then that can feed into another video of, hey, this is what we need to do for momentum.
Awesome. Sorry about that. We got off track there. In fact, we talked for about 30-40 minutes there. So I'm going to clip in maybe, I don't know, a little bit of that. But I hope that answered your question. I'll probably make a couple more videos if Stevie's okay with it, with some of the other stuff we talked about, because we talked about some really good stuff. In fact, we made plans, or we're talking about making plans for him to either fly down here or me to fly up there and shoot some videos, because he's got a really cool app coming out, Throw Smart. Check it out. They're on Instagram, I know. I'll talk to him again and leave some information down below about what's going on with the Throw Smart app and his arm strengthening program and what he's doing. I'll leave all his information down below because he's got some good stuff, and we're definitely going to be shooting some videos here in the future. In fact, just from this phone call, he didn't know he was going to be on the camera. I'm going to send this to him so he can check it out and improve it. But obviously we're going to do some more stuff. We talked about doing a podcast just there on the phone call. But that was kind of cool. I thought that he called in right when we were doing the video. So hope that answers your question. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want to see the rest of the videos that I chop up with that phone call, click the logo over here, and then you can check out some of these other videos over here. Don't forget to check out Stevie's information down below. Drop us a comment. If you got any questions for Stevie, throw them in the comments below, and he'll hop down there, as well as myself, and we'll answer your questions down there. Maybe make an office hours episode answering your question.